Hey everyone, it's Miss Cristina and welcome to STEAM at Home, where I will be showing you activities that are science, technology, engineering, art, and math based. So you don't have to leave your house, you don't have to change out of your PJs or anything comfy that you're wearing because we're just doing it at home, unless you're outside in your backyard or at a park, that's fine too. So the whole point of this is that you can find all the materials that I'm gonna use today for our activities just around your house, or they're just cheap materials that you can find at the store. But either way, they're just going to be easy and fun, and of course, you can do them at home with your family. So let's get started. Hey, so since Valentine's Day is just around the corner, I am going to talk to you about the heart. That's right, this heart. The heart that you feel here on your chest, love dub, and sometimes you can feel it here, right here, love dub. Yes, that's your heartbeat, and it's really cool. And I'm going to talk to you how awesome it is and how it's so important that we have this beautiful thing that lives inside us. But does our heart really look like this? No, it doesn't. This is a cartoon. No, our hearts, we don't have this here. I mean, it's nice that we do this, right? Because it's a symbol of a heart. But if you don't know, our actual heart looks like this. Isn't that cool? We have all these tubes coming out of it. It's like a weird shape, not the heart that we know, that we see everywhere around Valentine's Day. But this little guy right here is super awesome. It helps pump the blood all throughout our body and of course helps us live, right? It is awesome. So in a few moments, I will be talking to you about the different parts of it and what they do. And of course, I'm gonna tell you right now that there are going to be big words. So I'm going to pause in every part so you can help me pronounce them, or I can help you pronounce them, like super vena cava. Cava, vena cava. See, we're gonna help each other out because these are some big, hearty words. Do you like what I did there? Yeah, so we are going to talk about the heart today, and afterwards, after going through all the parts and what they do, we are going to do a special activity showing you how the heart pumps the blood. It's gonna be really awesome. So stay tuned.
The parts of the heart include the superior vena cava. It carries blood from the head, neck, arms, and chest. And the inferior vena cava carries blood from the legs, feet, and organs in your stomach and below. The aorta is the main artery that carries blood away from your heart to distribute it to the rest of your body. The pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from lungs to the left atrium. The pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood, and the left atrium holds blood from the pulmonary vein. The right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood, and the left ventricle pumps oxygen-rich blood through the aortic valve. And here are all our parts. And next, we're going to talk about the valves. They open and close to let blood flow. The tricuspid valve, like the mitral valve, controls blood flow from the atria to the ventricles. And the pulmonary valve controls blood flow out of the ventricles, just like the aortic valve. And of course, the mitral valve does the same as the tricuspid valve, which controls the blood flow from the atria to the ventricles.
So for our activity today, we are going to need a big mason jar like this, right? And we are going to need 2 types of balloons, a big balloon and a small balloon. And of course, you don't have to pick these colors. You can pick any balloon color that you want. And next, we are going to need some bendy straws. Same with the balloons, you can pick any color you want. It's fine, either way is okay. So just as long as they're the bendy kind, right? The bendy straws. And of course, like this size. Doesn't have to be the jumbo ones. So there's that. And 2 rubber bands. Two rubber bands to seal the balloons on the jar and around our straw. So I don't have it here with me, but of course you are going to fill your jar with water, about 2/3 cup of water, and I will show you that later. But if you have red food coloring, if you want to do that, if you want to go up a step to make it look like it's blood, then you can totally mix red food coloring into your water to make it look bloody. So that's it. That's really all you need. And of course, this is about pumping the blood, right? So this will act as the heart. We're gonna have the balloon up here flattened. So when we press it, blood is gonna come out of the straws, right? And of course, I'll show you this later, but I will just let you know that it's going to be messy because blood is gonna spurt out of these straws. So what you also need, if you wanna do this activity, you can put it in a basin, like a big basin, or what I like to do is I wanna do it in a bathtub because you have all that space in there. You have all those walls up against the bathtub. So once you press on it, it won't get on your clothes, it won't get on your carpet or your floor. Easy cleanup because after you're done, you can just rinse it off. Rinse that blood off. So you're good to go.
First, we are going to start off by mixing water and red food coloring if you want, and pour that into our mason jar. And since my mason jar is pretty tall, I'm going to fill it halfway there so my straws can touch it. And now I am going to cut the tip of the balloon so I can stretch that over the lid of the mason jar. And you have to be really careful with this because it might be a little too tight, might be a little tricky to put over, and you don't want to spill it all over your clothes or everywhere. So I'm trying to be very careful while placing it over and make sure everything is flat. And I know that little bubble up there is inevitable, but that's okay, just as long as everything is tight. And now I'm going to poke some holes on the balloon lid using a safety pin, and just be careful, it is very sharp, but try to make a hole that is pretty small but not too big, just small enough so the straws can still be inserted without you deflating the lid. And here I am trying to make sure that the holes are not too small and not too big. So if you want to, you can try as many times as you want, like what I'm doing here, just to make sure that the straws will fit. This one's the trickiest part of the experiment. Once you get both of your straws in, take the small balloon and do the same. Cut the tip of it so we can wrap it around one of the straws. using a rubber band or tape, and just make sure that it is very, very secure because you don't want the water to come out of it as you press. Now that we've secured it tightly, we are ready to pump. So in this heart model, the mason jar is already filled with blood. When you press down on the balloon or the muscle of the heart, blood squirts out. So the small water balloon acts like the valve and keeps the blood flowing in the right direction. If you remove the balloon, you will find that while water still comes out of the straw, the water remaining in the straw also flows back into the jar after you release the tension on the balloon.
Now that we've done our heart pumping activity, we are now going to talk about books, and I am going to share with you some nonfiction books that we have at our library. And the first one is called Thump Thump, Learning About Your Heart by Pamela Hill Nettleton. And it is an awesome picture book that talks about your heart. There we go. And it has very simple concepts and sentences and awesome pictures. So it's great for a read aloud. The next is The Magic School Bus presents The Human Body, and Miss Frizzle will take you on a journey all over your body, including your heart, and of course how it works. And she will spew out some facts for you that are very interesting. And the next is What Makes Your Body by Gail Arbuthnot. And the pictures in here are super vibrant and they're fun, and you can learn so many interesting things about your body, and of course including your heart. And it is very interactive. You can go and check out all the other books in this series that are just as fun. And the next one is The Circulatory Story by Mark K. Corcoran. So this little picture book, well, it's not little, it's kind of big, looks like a picture book, but it kind of reads like a graphic novel. And it has all of these funny little characters, but it is very, very informational. It has all the things that you need, from blood clots, from how to eat better to make your heart better. Everything is just included in this awesome book. So check this one out as well. And last but not the least, we have The Circulatory System by Grace Hansen. So this simple early reader picture book has the simplest sentences, not too complex with the paragraphs. The pictures are realistic, which sometimes we need to see, right? But they're not gory, so it's okay. And just like the ones that I talked about earlier in the video, it has this diagram. So it is very helpful, just a few pages. And at the very back, it talks to you about the words that you learned and a review of what you just learned in this book. So these are just some of the books that you can check out at our library. Of course, we have plenty, so come on in at our library. We are open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or you can place a hold in the catalog, that's what I mean, in our library catalog at www.homewoodpubliclibrary.org. So you can place a hold on these and pick them up or have a curbside appointment. So I hope you learned something today, and I hope to see you all very soon.